What's up, Rebel family? Today is Monday, April 20th. It is also the 35th day that we have been without you. We miss you aggressively, all right? We're gonna go over today's workout. I have Coach Tiff here to demonstrate with me. Beginning of your strength set for today, we're gonna go through a little bit of the movements that you're doing in the workout, but also we're gonna try and get a little bit of strength built up with our core strength. So here's what we're looking at. We're gonna go through dumbbell squat clean thrusters. So this is a chance for you to prime your knees, prime your hips, get your body ready for what the workout entails, but also trying to get a little technique down here too. So take the dumbbell from in between your legs, come up, jump shrug, squat below parallel, and then squeeze that butt to launch that dumbbell all the way up overhead. We'll do 8 of them, and they're alternating. So Tiff would switch hands, she'd squat clean, and she would thruster. After her set of 8, she'll move over to her pull-up bar, and we'll do a strict toes to bar. So for strict toes to bar, starting from a dead hang, no swing whatsoever. She's just gonna pull her feet straight up until she touches the bar. That's fantastic. If you're doing multiples in a row, control yourself back down, and then head back up from there. If you can't do strict toes to bar, we're gonna try and do straight leg raise. So still holding onto the pull-up bar, we're gonna bring our straight legs as high up as possible. If this is still super challenging for you, we can tuck our knees into our chest, kick our feet out, and then try and control that back down to the ground. If you don't have a pull-up bar, what we can do is we can do leg levers on the ground. The way we're gonna do leg levers today is with our hands by our side. What we wanna do is we wanna lift our feet up, push them up as high as we can, and then slowly control that back down to the ground. For today, you get bonus points if you don't let your feet hit the ground in between reps. So controlling that the whole way. Those are fantastic. If you don't have a dumbbell for this workout, we want you to find a book bag, any kind of duffel bag you can get your hands on, and load it. So what we would do for those squat clean thrusters is we're gonna take the duffel bag, or the sandbag in this case, we're gonna squat clean and finish with that load overhead. If you are loading this in a book bag, try to make it as even as possible so that you're not feeling you're fighting with that sandbag or that book bag as you go. The workout today is for time, and what we're looking for is 4 rounds of strict Cindy. And if you guys remember, Cindy is 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, and 15 squats. So strict Cindy really just refers to the pull-ups. So we'll start from a dead hang. Without swinging our body to kip, we'll go ahead and pull our chin up over the bar, and we'll come back down to full extension of the elbows before we go back up. If you don't have strict pull-ups, but you are blessed with a pull-up bar, let's just go through this workout with kipping pull-ups for today. Then we'll move on to push-ups. So for push-ups, we are going to start in a plank. We'll touch our chest down to the deck, and then we'll press back out. Remember that if you struggle with push-ups, we can lower the reps, so maybe doing 5 RX push-ups. Or we can go to our knees on this movement and do push-ups from our knees. We can also find an elevated surface like a park bench or maybe your couch. We can go push-ups from there. And then lastly, we'll finish a round of Cindy with 15 air squats. Now guys, if you don't have a pull-up bar for Cindy, what we want you to do is either reverse pull-ups, reverse push-ups on the wall or on the floor. So on the wall, we're getting our feet out in front of us, we're leaning up against that wall, and we're pushing our elbows as far back behind us as they'll go. If we're on the floor, Tiff does a great job of demonstrating them on the floor. How this looks is, again, laying down, you can keep your knees bent, but what we want to do is we want to push those elbows as far back as they'll go behind us and do somewhat of a sit-up. Now, one of our favorite pulling scales for this, especially at home, is going to be finding a towel or a sheet or a blanket or whatever we can find and wrap it around a tree or a pole. What we want to do is we're going to scoot our feet forward, lean back, and row our elbows behind us as far as they'll go. So this would be, again, a strict pull-up variation. Thank you, Tiffany. So after you finish your 4 strict rounds of Cindy, we'll then go on to the first of the dumbbell movements, or the weighted movements, which is going to be 15 alternating dumbbell power cleans. So dumbbell can start in between your legs. We'll finish with that dumbbell on our shoulders. So we'll have to lift that elbow up to show that it's there. 50 total reps. And the design for those 4 rounds and those 50 reps is meant to be a sprint. So if you can rip those 4 rounds, you can go through your power cleans as fast as possible. You are blessed with a 2-minute rest afterwards. So whatever time you finish at, look at the clock. 2 minutes from there, you'll start your next set. which is going to be 3 rounds of strict Cindy. So again, same modifications, same movements, 5, 10, 15. And then we'll be going through our goblet squats. And we're going to do 40 of them. So you can hold the dumbbell or the weight in your front rack. We'll squat below parallel and stand all the way back to full extension. Split those up how you want. But as soon as you are done with those 40 repetitions, you again have a mandatory 2-minute rest. We'll finish off with 2 rounds of strict Cindy, and the hardest of all the movements are going to be 30 dumbbell squat clean thrusters, and these are alternating arms. So the dumbbell squat clean thruster, jump, shrug, catch, full squat, finish with that dumbbell locked out overhead. Okay, so every time you hit another arm, that is another rep. Split those up how you need. Guys, we're going to go over if you don't have a dumbbell, all right? It's still working through the rounds of Cindy, but instead of dumbbell power cleans, we'll be using our odd object, which we practiced with in the beginning, of power cleans, so getting it on the shoulders and standing all the way up. When we move to the goblet squat component, this is actually just going to be a sandbag or a weighted bag front squat. So support that in front rack, squat below parallel, and stand all the way up. And lastly, the most challenging, we'll take that sandbag or that book bag with both hands, we'll catch it in our front rack, squat below parallel, and finish out overhead. This workout would be for time. We want you to scale appropriately. If you struggle with push-ups, you struggle with pull-ups, maybe lower the rep scheme or maybe even lower the rounds for those initial buy-ins. These rounds should be sprints. You should be able to get through those rounds of Cindy and still be able to move that weight pretty aggressively and have that 2-minute payoff to recover before you hit it again hard. We love you guys. We miss you. We'll see you tomorrow, Tuesday.